So I'm trying to figure out what the next setup should be in this car. Right now, it has the Trinity Audio M10 in the ported box. Oh, looks like it shifted. So yeah, this is what's in the car right now. But I want to make something that's a little bit more impressive for shows. Right before we had the single 8 and the dual bass reflex, or the 6th order, whatever you want to call it. But it just wasn't loud enough for car shows. So I think I'm gonna switch to something a little bit bigger. But that previous box was pretty big as is and almost took up as much room as I have. So I could go a little bit bigger on the next one, but I'm just not sure if I should go to a 10 or a 12 or maybe a different design totally. So obviously if I go to a bigger sub, it's gonna be a lot easier to get louder, but I want to balance between a good design and a smaller sub. Or maybe not smaller, but because if I go to a larger sub, it's just going to be easier to build in general, and then it's not as impressive for me anyways, and maybe to other people at the show. But I want to kind of stay with something as small as I can in terms of cone area, so that it could just give that impressive wow factor. And then I don't really want to do much more electrical upgrades. Right now it has the 3K in there, but I'm not sure if I should add a second battery.
Sorry.
Okay.
Anyway.
Back to what I was saying. So yeah, I pretty much want to keep the amp that's in there. I don't want to do a big electrical upgrade. If anything, I could add back one of those sodium batteries because they're very small. I could actually put it under the floorboard of this car and then hide everything, because that's where my DSP is currently at. So the space we have is about 35 inches wide. Let's see. We could possibly squeeze 20 deep. And then 16 tall. So not too much room to work with. So I know I could do a single 12 in a ported box, but it's kind of boring to me. It would get extremely loud, but I just want... It's not really much of a challenge, so maybe I go down to like a 10, but then I feel like that might not be loud enough. But if I were to go with 2 8s, then that wouldn't really be an efficient use of my amplifier power, because then I'd be having to power 2 voice coils instead of 1. But I don't know. Or I could see if there's a more high efficient subwoofer, like something in the high 80s or maybe even the 90s. But what would you be impressed by at a show? Just let me know below. Single 12 or maybe... See, a single 12 in a ported box is just boring. Loud, yeah, but I mean, a beginner can do that. But if I did the 10 and like another 6th order or something, that would be cool. Or maybe I could do even one of those 6 orders with some quarter wave mixed in there. That would be cool. But I just don't know if I have the space for it. So,
You can make space, right?
not really, can I? I can't just make the car bigger.
No, but
And, oh yeah, so we have a 240 amp alternator in there right now. And then a little yellow top battery. So electrical is not strong right now. Like I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't be opposed to putting another lithium or sodium battery in it, but I just don't want to spend the money on that, because I'd only need the power for this next build, and then I may switch to something else the next day. So as you can tell, there really isn't much space, because this is just a standard ported box. This is, I think it was 1.5 cubic feet. I think that's right. Yeah. So if I go to like maybe 2 or 3 cube, I'd be pretty much maxed out. So yeah, let me know what you think I should do. Like, I really like to build stuff with the smallest drivers possible, like 6.5s. That's what I love to design for. But the thing is, they're just, even with a really good design, people just aren't impressed with that at shows because they're used to hearing 12s, 15s, 18s. So I don't think I'll do that. Although I'm not completely throwing that out of the question. Still possibly would do it. So yeah, I think that'll conclude this video. Just leave your suggestions down in the comments. What do you think I should build?